going on, YouTube? So, happy St. Patrick's Day and all that jazz. As you can see, I'm wearing the Green Lantern shirt there, Guy Gardner. Anyway, so I hope you're all having a great St. Patrick's Day. You know, staying, drinking responsibly and all that jazz. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about St. Patrick's Day. Unfortunately, I'm over here cleaning out the basement. But fortune smiled upon me and I found something. You guys remember radio dramas, like old things like back in the 50s, before televisions and all that? They used to have these things called radio dramas where basically it was like a show with sound effects and all this other jazz. And I happened to find one on a cassette tape here. It's from a show back in the day called The Endless Storm. Now, unfortunately, I could not find episode 1, but I figured I would share it with you guys, and, yeah, just, you know, kind of a throwback to the old 50s, and, you know, let me know what you guys think, and, maybe, you know, if I go through some more boxes, I might find the first episode, but so far, I think this is, like, episode 22, maybe? I don't know, but anyway, I'm gonna play it for you, and I'm gonna let you guys, let me know what you think, and if I find more and you guys like it, I'll definitely try and find more. Now I should preamble this by saying that the audio is pretty terrible. Once again, I'm digitizing this from cassette tapes, you know, so, you know, dropping things. So, yeah, without further ado, roll it.
This is KWWXP with another broadcast of The Endless Storm. Brought to you in part by Tar Baby Cigarettes, the only cigarette that guarantees 30% more tar than the leading brand. When you have that unmistakable tar flavor coating your lungs, you know you're sucking on a tar baby. When we last left our heroes, Clarence and his sister Lurleen were recently visited by the villainous San Marcos, who had recently discovered an earth-shattering secret about the Dubois family. Meanwhile, Madame Dorchester was murdered by an unknown assailant, and of course, Sheriff J.W. Archer and his trusty deputy, Pete Gator Hinckley, were put on the case. We now join the Dubois family in Happiness County.
Oh, Clarence, whatever are we gonna do? With Daddy all the way in the heart of the African jungle, it'll take days to get a telegram down there.
Well, Lurleen, I have a few ideas.
Well, do tell, Clarence.
First, I need a cigarette. This is a good tar, baby. The only cigarette that can provide the rich and full-bodied flavor of tar.
And it smells very manly, Clarence. So, what are we gonna do about San Marcos? If our horrible secret gets out, we'll be rushed out of Happiness County.
Well, you can relax, Lurleen. I'm not gonna let that happen.
Well, how on earth are you gonna do that, Clarence?
Well, I'm gonna shoot him.
Why, Clarence, that is genius.
No, it isn't. It's just the soothing aroma of the Tar Baby cigarette that helps me think with such cunning clarity. Tar Baby truly is the thinking man's cigarette.
And did I mention it makes you look very manly, Clarence?
Meanwhile, at the estate of the wealthy and recently deceased Madame Dorchester, Sheriff J.W. Archer and his faithful but woefully inept deputy, Pete Gator Hinckley, arrive on the horrific scene.
If the new boys are done taking your photos, I think it's about time to let the professionals handle this. J.W., I think I know what happened here. Well. Looks like you done got yourself a little old idea there, Gator. Care to tell us what you think happened?
Of course, Sheriff. Looks like Madame Dorchester was shot in the head from behind. It's right in the back of her head, which means she was either sleeping or she was murdered by someone she knew. Is that what the crime scene was telling you, boy? Why, yes it is, Sheriff. Gator, I've been doing this job for all of 20-some years. Don't you think I'd know murder if I saw it? Well, of course, Sheriff. Exactly. Now this ain't no murder. It's not.
course not. It was a suicide. A suicide? Well, I hate to disagree with you, Sheriff, but the bullet wound was directly in the back of her head. It'd be right difficult to pull the trigger from the back of your head. Gator, are you questioning me, boy? Of course not, Sheriff, but, right, well, this is case closed. Madam Dorchester done committed suicide, yep. But, Sheriff, I really think you need to reconsider. Gator, when you've been doing this job for as long as I have, you'll know murder when you see it.
Sheriff Archer, we may have found the murder weapon. It's a service revolver. We found it in the woods, and there's blood on it.
Right, well, I tell you, Gator, this was a murder, plain and simple. Wait a minute, Sheriff, earlier you said this was a suicide. That was a test, boy. Oh, I get it. Well, that was right clever of you, Sheriff. So, did I pass? Pass what? The test. Oh, yeah, right, sure, whatever. Alright, let's, collect the evidence? Right. Come on, Gator, let's go.
As Sheriff Archer and Deputy Hinckley gather the evidence surrounding Madame Dorchester's murder, the evil rascal San Marcos concludes his secret rendezvous with his female accomplice.
Oh, Beth Chebrahirezed, once I expose the secrets of the Dubois family, they'll have no choice but to leave Happiness County and allow me to drill for the sweet oil underneath their home. Yes, my darling. And then, only then, will we have the money to buy back the haunted Indian burial ground and put the souls to rest. Of course, the only thing stopping us is the dubious Thaddeus Dubois. If he returns from Africa with the stone of jade, our plans will be thwarted. Darling, you worry yourself too much. Here, have a smoke. Yes, these tar babies are extraordinary. One puff and my nerves are instantly calm, not to mention the rich tar flavor that only a tar baby can provide. Oh, and it makes you look very manly and smart and sophisticated, darling. Right. Hello? Madame Dorchester was murdered? By whom? What is it, darling? Madame Dorchester was murdered. And if she's dead, then the prophecy is about to be fulfilled. What must we do, darling? I have to make a phone call. As the villainous rascal San Marcos makes his phone call, we go deep into the African jungle to find Dr. Thaddeus Dubois and his trusty colored manservant, Roscoe, within the caves of Jade. Why, I say, this is incredible. These caves are well preserved. Come, Roscoe, let's go deeper. I don't know nothing about no caves, Mr. Dubois, but something about this just don't seem right. Of course not, Roscoe. You haven't graduated from Harvard and Oxford as I have. But I'm telling you the stone of jade is in this cavern below us. Mr. Dubois, your fancy book learning words hurt my head. But if you say we's keep going, then we's keep going. Justly said, Roscoe. And while you're at it, be a good lad and light me a cigarette. I'm afraid all we has is tar babies, Mr. Dubois. I throw mine. What? Are you mad, Roscoe? Tar babies provide a cool and refreshing taste for a refined gentleman such as myself. Of course, I suppose I shouldn't expect you to have the palate capable of distinguishing the flavor. I don't know nothing about no palates and no flavor, but I sure do like the smell of them cigarettes you smoking. Would you be so kind as allow me to have one? But of course, even your kind can appreciate the full richness of a tar baby. Why, yes, sir, that's some good tar. Indeed. Now, the shaft below us should take us to the throne room. It's awful dark in here, boss. Indeed. Toss me that roll! Miss Dubois! Miss Dubois! Well, he done fallen down that hole. Miss Dubois! Miss Dubois!
Is this the end for Thaddeus Dubois? What will become of Clarence and Lurleen? Who is San Marcos going to call and what do they have planned? Who killed Madame Dorchester? This is KWWXP, and this concludes today's episode of The Endless Storm. Brought to you by Tar Baby Cigarettes. Tar Baby Cigarettes. For the full-bodied tar flavor, there's no other cigarette.